much for clicking my channel. My name is Ciara LaShawn, and let's get on with the topic because I know that's why you're here. Today I want to talk about pros and cons of having not one, but two jobs. I did at a point in time work two jobs, and so I wanted to share with you my experience. So it all started when I graduated college in 2017. I got a job working part-time with a retail store, guys. Y'all, I graduated college. I had a whole degree, but as you all know, that is just not easy getting from college to real world workplace. Like, that just doesn't exist. I mean, for some people you might have a job right out of college, but for the average person like me, I'm not average, I shouldn't have even said that, but for most people it's not that easy. And so I had to work at a part-time job. I made pretty good money because it was a luxury mall, so I did that right after college. I decided, you know what, I have to get something that really pays bills, like grown-up bills. I was like, okay, I need to start applying for some jobs that'll really give me that money. Okay. And I ended up getting a job, and I still have this current job, and it was a full-time position, like just amazing. I got my job after an 8-month search. Yikes, it's like 7 months, right? And I ended up deciding that I was gonna work there and at the retail store at the same time. So I was gonna work at both places at the same time because I just was like, I need the money, why not? I got a full-time job, got a part-time job, I'm just gonna balance them both. Guys, that's what this whole video is about, because I wanna let y'all know that you don't have to balance them both unless you have to. The pros and cons of working two jobs at the same time. The obvious pro, the main reason why people even consider working another job is because finances. It helps you to pay the bills. It helps you to pay whatever's left over. Like, financially, it is such a good idea to have two jobs because you are able to pay your bills. If you're working a part-time job, you probably need another part-time job to pay your bills. Like, just being honest, because most part-time jobs monthly, you might get about, I don't even know if you'll even get $1,000. In most places, their rent is $1,000, at least in Atlanta. So $1,000 is really not cutting it. So you're probably gonna need multiple jobs if you're gonna settle for part-time. Then you need 2 part-time or 3, however works for you. So financial, that's a huge blessing. That's a huge pro. But y'all, cons. Time is one of my biggest cons. If you value time like I do, I value time, and more than time, I value my peace. And I just couldn't stay in my part-time job because of that. I was working full-time, I kept my part-time job, and y'all, I would be working 5 days out of the week at my full-time job, and then in the evenings I would go to my part-time job, and I would be working from like 5:30 to 9 something, and then on the weekends I would work the whole day, like 8-hour shifts to make it worth it. I balanced that for a few months, but guys, I began to just really like question, okay, yeah, it's good for the money, but I'm not even able to spend the money because when do I have time to do anything? Now, there are those people who work 2 part-time jobs and have huge flexibility, which is actually a pro in a way. So if you have 2 jobs, and if you're in my case had a full-time job and a part-time job, you might not have as much flexibility. At least I didn't, because my full-time job did not offer flexibility. If you have 2 part-time jobs, you generally can have more flexibility, which means those dreams that you're chasing, chase them. Which leads me to my next pro. My next pro of having 2 jobs. You could possibly have one job where you're focusing on finances, right? You just need this job because you need to pay the bills. And then your second job is really actually what you're passionate about. Sometimes what we're passionate about doesn't automatically bring money, right? So it's always good to have a part-time job or full-time job, one job that really is your bread and butter, and then having another job that is your passion, so you can work on that, and that way you'll be able to kind of transition into what you're passionate about, but you'll also be able to pay bills, right? So I think that's a good thing about having 2 jobs if you want to have 2 jobs. But you know what? Another pro would be the fact that you are able to save money. Let's say you don't have any dependents, like you don't have any children, you don't have any outstanding loans, but yes, if you did, those are all great items to, like, great reasons to have 2 jobs. By any means necessary, make sure your kids are well taken care of, and then by any means necessary, you got to get that debt off your hands. So yes, a second job is great for that. So maybe you will have to take a season of just working 2 jobs. At least you might have to take a season of adding another job because just to get that loan, that debt off of you, because trust me, it will stay. It's not going anywhere. If you don't have any other financial responsibilities, you can invest that money. You can buy a house. You can honestly use that money to build your own empire, right? You can use that money to invest in your own business. Like, consider, okay, I might have to suffer for a little while, a few months, and get this extra, I don't know, $5,000, but I can invest this $5,000 into this business, whatever your business idea is. Of course, it's really good with saving up money for investment, saving up money for your retirement savings, and saving up money for a house. So I think that those are all really good reasons to consider a second job. So that's really what I have to say. So at the end of the day, I think it's all about what is worth your peace and what is worth your time. If you really, really value your peace and your time, I don't suggest you working 2 jobs at the same time. If anything, I would suggest you really work towards trying to find that full-time job. I know it's easier said than done. Listen, full-time jobs are great because a lot of times they come with more benefits, right? And a more stable schedule. This is my experience. These are just my tips for what worked for me. It's really ultimately up to what you value the most. It's either about money or what you value more, the money or your peace and time, and what matters most in the season right now. If your money matters most in the season, get that together. You know what you have that's pending. You know what you have that's urgent. So get that together as soon as you can. And I'm believing in you for that dream that you have, for that dream job you have. I'm believing in you for that financial freedom. So comment below if you have any other tips and ideas about managing, just juggling 2 jobs at the same time, or multiple jobs, or 3 jobs. Comment that below. And if you need help discerning what that is, what you should do as far as your passion, or what you should do as far as your finances. For one, pray and ask God for that discernment, but feel free to always reach out to me. My email and my contact information is always in the description. You can always follow me on Instagram. I love you, and God loves you even more. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel because we are a family, and I want us to stick together because that's what family does. I love you. God loves you more.